You're listening to an episode of the Abigail Pugh podcast with, you guessed it, Abigail Pugh. I'm an introverted mama who took my online business from 0 to 7 figures in 15 months selling my own digital products on social media. And guess what? I did it all with my 3-year-old daughter no less than 3 feet away from me at all times. Now I'm bringing you everything I've learned about building a wildly profitable online business that supports your life while allowing you to truly live it. Get ready for raw, honest conversations with entrepreneurs making thousands per month selling their own digital products and people just like you who ditch self-doubt to create the life they've always wanted. If you're ready to make more money, have more impact, and still have time for the things that matter most, you're in the right place. Grab your sneakers, head out on your hot girl walk, and let's dive in. So I know that my podcast episodes are usually on the more, playful and fun side. And yes, I talk about serious things. And yes, I, share my highs and my lows. But today's episode is going to be a little bit more intense. I'm laughing because I'm nervous because it's always hard to share the hard things. But I have been struggling with some things and just want to remind you that social media isn't necessarily fake, but social media is such a small part of someone's life. And it's just such a small glimpse into what's really going on in somebody's life. So today we're going to talk about how social media, like I just said, is just a glimpse and some things that I've really been struggling with as an entrepreneur and a mama. And it's funny that I'm recording this today. I'm at my podcast recording studio at the co-working space that I have. And getting here took about an hour of my daughter being so mad at me for leaving. And I come to this place like maybe once or twice a week, and I work at home the rest of the time. So like my daughter has so much access to me, but she's just been in like a mama's girl phase. And she was so mad for like an hour and just kept saying like, Mom, don't go. Like, please, I'm so frustrated. Please don't leave. I want to be with you. Please work here. And just like screaming. Like she was so upset that I was leaving. And, I had a deadline for something for my business that I needed to be here to do. And I felt so guilty and just a gut-wrenching feeling of like, oh my gosh, what, like, I wish I could stay. Like, I don't want to do this. I don't want to leave her. I don't want to feel like that. And on one hand, I love showing her that you can do both. You can be a very present mom and then you can also run your own business. But on the other hand, days like this, like I don't want to leave and I don't want her to feel like that. And it's just so hard. And I have responsibilities and deadlines for things that, I can't miss. And I don't have a lot of deadlines. I will say my schedule is very much so up to me, but I have other people who help me and I have to get them things by a certain time, so I needed to be here and I needed to get it done. And it sucked so bad just seeing her so sad. And eventually we talked it through and, she waved goodbye. She walked me out, gave me hugs and kisses, and it was great. But I'm sitting here at this co-working space, just like wanting to cry. And feeling so sad that she's feeling that. So it's really hard to do both. And even though, running your own business or selling digital products or having an online business does give you so much flexibility, like there are still times when, I have to choose work over being home and it absolutely sucks. And it's funny because like people talk about work-life balance. I don't think it exists, right? Either work is thriving or home is thriving, but it's very rare that both are like off the charts thriving. And it always feels like when I'm really succeeding at one, I'm failing miserably at the other. And I don't have a solution for that. Like usually I love to like talk about something hard that I went through and then give you a solution for how we can get through it. And honestly, right now, I don't have one. And I'm really, really trying to just lean into working less and spending more time with her and just being so diligent about my schedule so that when I am home, I'm not having to work, or when I'm done working, like I'm not on my phone. I'm not, like, oh, let me just answer this email real quick because I feel like she picks up on that. But all that to say, being a mom and owning your own business or, being an entrepreneur, selling digital products, whatever you call it yourself or whatever you do, it's it's really hard to do both sometimes. So if that's you, I see you. And I wish I had a better solution for us, but it's really hard some days. Something else I've talked about this on social media before, but I've just really been struggling with viewing my body. And most days when I wake up and I look in the mirror, I don't recognize myself. And it's especially hard because my job requires me to be on social media and to make videos. And if you're new here, I have been dealing with mold poisoning and detoxing for, I want to say almost 2 years now, maybe a year and a half. I can't even keep track. It's just been a long journey. And one of the side effects I had was gaining like 40 or 50 pounds, like very, very quickly with nothing changing in my diet and how I'm exercising. And it's, because of the mold and it's not coming off, which is infuriating. And it's so hard to wake up and look in the mirror and feel like you don't recognize yourself. And I don't know, it's just been really hard exercising and eating right and like fueling my body and taking care of my body and still not being able to, lose a single pound. Like it's really, really, really hard to put work in on something, especially for so long and not see results. And obviously I know, like on a surface level, I know that my weight doesn't, define who I am or define my worth or any of that. But regardless, it's really freaking hard to be living in a body that you don't recognize. And especially online where like I am in front of people online every single day showing up on camera, and I don't really get mean comments about it, but there's just like always something in the back of my head thinking like, oh my gosh, someone's going to think I'm fat, or oh my gosh, someone's going to think I have no self-control because I've gained weight. And it's just like so debilitating sometimes to have no control over how you feel in your body. So that's been really, really hard. Something else I've been struggling with, and this has been something that's been going on since I started my business, is I'm just like the worst friend. I have so little capacity for friendships right now because, I'm either working my business or spending time with my family or, seeing my mom who lives here or with my mother-in-law and my husband. And friendships obviously are so important to me. And like I have my business besties, I have my high school bestie, Kendall, shout out to you if you're listening to this. And I just feel like I have no capacity for anything more. And even the friendships I do have, like I feel so bad. I go months and months without texting them, and they're the best. I'm so grateful for my friends, when I do text them after a hiatus and kind of just like burying myself into work and family life. They're always so wonderful, and it's like no time has passed, but I don't want that. Like I want to pour into my friends and I want to pour into our relationships together. And I know this is a season where, it's a hard season with my daughter. It's a hard season with my business just because I'm kind of pivoting some things. And in the long run, the pivot 100% will be worth it. And I'm so excited, but it's a lot of work to pivot and kind of change the way you're doing things. And my friendships have just totally taken a back seat, and it sucks and I hate it. And going along with that, even my husband, who is home full time with me and my daughter, it's still so hard to prioritize our marriage with a toddler and a business now. Like I feel like we tag team all day. We're either working or with her, or he's doing something, like he is trying to get into real estate and all of that and learning. And we're just like tag teaming. And then by the end of the day, when my daughter goes to bed, it's 8 o'clock and we're both exhausted and can barely talk during the day because my daughter's always interrupting, like, which I want her to feel comfortable and I want her to like be part of everything. But like, I can't even remember the last time we had a date night, just the two of us. Like my daughter comes on everything because she doesn't like being with other people. I don't know. She was a little pandemic baby. So she went, 2.5 years of her life, like only being around me and my husband. So we've just never really left her with anyone else. So we never get date nights. And I don't know. It's just been really, really hard. And I am hopeful that eventually she'll feel comfortable like staying with the grandparents so we can go on a date and talk. But it's really hard. And again, I know it's a season. I know it's not going to be like this forever, but I just literally want to go on a date with my husband and not be interrupted and eat a meal. And I think we have a plan for how we can do it for his birthday coming up. And I'm like so excited. And if it does happen, of course, I'll share with you guys that it happened because I'm desperately needing to just have a conversation while eating a meal without being interrupted, without having to take someone to the bathroom, without having to clean something up that spilled. And like, again, I love being a mom and I love my daughter and I love helping and serving her and just being there with her. But it's really, really hard when you feel like you never get time with your spouse. Something else I've really been struggling with too is it literally just always feels like there's a pile of laundry or a pile on my desk. And I'm very much so like I can, compartmentalize things. So I'll just like move to a different room and work in that room. And my brain's like, no, you need to work right now so that you can hang out with your family. You can clean later. And then guess what? I never clean later. Which is just, again, it's like overwhelming to feel like, oh my gosh, you either clean the house today or you get your work done or you spend time with your family. And realistically, I know that like I can do all three and, time things better. But it just like my brain feels like it like hyper focuses on one thing and then it feels like it can't do anything else. And so we've had a very extra messy laundry room and office lately for me. And I need to do like a deep clean and get rid of stuff, but I also share my office with my daughter. So it's kind of always chaotic and always crazy, which I love that she feels comfortable in there and she feels comfortable coming to my desk and, working with me. I say working like that because obviously she's not really working, but all that to say, social media truly, it has changed my life and my business for the better. Obviously, none of this would have been possible without social media, but I just wanted to remind you that it is just such a small glimpse into somebody's life. And again, we often like see it and we're like, oh yeah, I'm like part of this. And there's just so much more that you're not able to see and you never know what others are struggling with. And obviously, if you are facing anything similar or completely different, like completely different struggles, I want you to know that I see you and I see you, I hear you, and I am just like, I'm in the trenches with you. Or, if you're going through a different struggle, it's hard. It's hard for all of us. And I wish it wasn't. And I know we will all come out stronger on the other side. I know we will. But again, just a small reminder that what you see on social media is such a small glimpse into someone's life. And also another reminder, go text your friend that you haven't texted in months. I'm going to go text my best friend, Kendall, that I haven't texted in months and tell her I love her. And I love you guys. I love you. I mean it. And I am so, so grateful that you are here and part of this community. And I will see you next week with hopefully a little bit more fun and uplifting episode than this one.
Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. If you learned anything from this episode, I would love it if you could share it over on your Instagram stories and tag me at Abigail Pugh. Until next time, love you, mean it.